can't hear Brad. Is he?
Yeah, Tom and Brad, we can't hear you. Tom, I think you're muted, so you need to unmute yourself. And Brad, you have no mic volume, but we should be able to hear you through Tom's. So.
All right, go ahead, talk.
All right,
Okay,
we're live. I can hear Brad and we're live, just so everyone knows.
okay. So I made the introduction for the Port Authority meeting for Board of Directors, Tuesday, May 12th at now probably 7:10 p.m. I'd like to start with a roll call.
Steve Bancek,
Nope, it's not here.
Here.
Oh, sorry. There you go.
Barb Cook. Here. Roberto Davila. Matt Kuzner,
Here.
Brad Mullins,
Here.
Carl Nielsen,
Here.
Neil Summers,
Here.
Jeff Zellers,
Here.
Alza Gantz,
Yes.
8 here.
Great. Do we want to go through the Pledge of Allegiance still?
No, we'll
Okay,
dispense
we'll have
that.
to skip the Pledge of Allegiance and go into the disposition of meeting minutes from March 10th, 2020, the regular board meeting. Any questions, comments, changes? Can I have a motion to approve? By,
I make a motion to approve. Jeff Sellers.
okay, Mrs. Cook beat you to it. You can second it though, Jeff.
I second it.
Thank you. All in favor? All opposed? Motion passed. Report of officers. Mr. Executive Director, we have the election of officers.
Yes, as everybody can remember, our elections were to take place in April. We talked about this in March. Now's the time to get them done. This will be for the remainder of 2020 and through April of 2021. And I would open up the floor for nominations for the position of chairperson.
Could I make a motion?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I'd like to make a motion that the officers remain the same.
We have to go through the nominating process though.
Do for each one of them?
Yes,
Okay.
Who you start with?
we're doing chairperson.
Same one.
Okay.
We have a nomination for Brad Mullins for chair. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Jeff Zellers. Are there any other nominations for the position of chairperson? Last call nominations for chairperson. Seeing no further nominations, congratulations, Mr. Mullen. Get back to work. Next, we'll open the floor for nominations of vice chair. Are there any nominations for the office of vice chair?
Nominate Carl Nielsen.
I'll second it.
A nomination and seconded by Neil, seconded by Brad. Any further nominations for the position of vice chair? And last call for nominations for the position of vice chairperson. Seeing none, I would close the nominations for vice chair. Congratulations, Mr. Nielsen. Last but not least, the nominations for the position of secretary. In the past, it's easiest if you nominate and elect myself because I have to sign all the checks. So nominations for the position of secretary.
I nominate Tom Brown for position of secretary for Lorraine Port Authority.
Thank
Second.
you.
Second.
Second by Mr. Bancek. Myself has been nominated and duly seconded. Any second nominations for the position of secretary? Final call for the position of secretary. Seeing none, I'd close the nominations. I congratulate myself and I will remain working. All right, obviously there's a little bit unorthodox. We'll continue with our positions. Thank you for the support of the board. And again, we'll repeat what we did this year, starting in March. We'll remind everybody that it's coming up in April, so there's no surprises. So that's on our ongoing calendar so we can remember, and then that way people have some time to kind of talk about, you know, future positions or that type of thing. Thank you very much. Under correspondence received, I know it's been 2 months now, but I will tell you that mail is very slow, email is very slow. Everybody's just kind of sheltering, and the flow of everything business-wise has come to a complete crawl. So the minor correspondences we received, we've handled in-house. So there aren't any correspondences. But in that vein, I will tell you that we've continued with our business model of jointly working in the office. We have enough space here. We can socially isolate. We've ordered all the PPE. We're waiting on our digital thermometer. We wear masks when appropriate. We keep the doors closed for now. We're not open to the public. We're in constant contact with our different vendors, with our different partners, trying to figure out where we're going to go. I'm going to keep this going for at least another week. We'll probably start getting to a normal office hours starting next week. At least someone will be here. I don't know that we'll open the doors. We'll probably still have people ring in just so that we can make sure that we have the appropriate, visit stations and everything in place. But we've been able to get everything done. I mean, 3 of us being on salary, 1 being on hourly, we've made sure that everybody's been taken care of. And we've gotten the mission accomplished. But I think we want to get back to some normalcy and get offices open as everybody else is starting to open as well. So probably next Monday we'll go full go and have a complete office presence. So I send out emails again to keep you guys in the loop. But as always, if there's any questions or calls or concerns, just give me a call. On my cell phone is the easiest way to get a hold of me.
So was there any correspondence, anything we need to talk about?
No, nothing. It's been really slow as correspondence. So
Executive Director, let's talk about the 2020 Shuttle Boat Captains Agreement.
Tiffany, Kelsey has worked quite a bit on this and worked on it and got it updated with the shuttle boats. Obviously, you've had that in your packet. We would ask for your support and changing that. And I'd give the floor to Kelsey if she wanted to highlight anything. But as far as the shuttle boat, we're going to wait for the governor's recommendations. Obviously, they're close quarters on the boat. We have no idea what our season will look like. We just want to be prepared in the event that we can get those boats opened. All the maintenance is being done. We have some captains lined up. Kelsey's interviewed additional captains. So this is just getting ready for 2020, whatever that season may end up being. But I'll open it to Kelsey so she can highlight any differences.
Yeah, Tom covered it well, and really touched on all the aspects. Really, the only changes to the contract, different from when it was originally passed, I believe in February, is the increase of the hourly rate to $25 an hour. And we're just going to, or we cleaned up the language so that we better followed our actual practices of the way that we pay our shuttle boat captains when it comes to bad weather. And we always pay them for the hours that they work, and always invite them to, wait out the weather, or, do maintenance projects in the meantime to, maintain those hours.
Any other changes, questions, comments? Yvonne, do you want to read the resolution? Yvonne?
Sorry about that. A resolution authorizing the executive director or his designee to enter into an independent contractors agreement with ship captains relative to the operation of the shuttle boat vessels in 2020.
So board members, we have a resolution for 2020 boat captain agreement, resolution number 2020-11. I have a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
By Mr. Zellers, second by was that Steve Bancek?
Yes.
Okay, can I get a roll call vote, please?
Steve Bancek,
Aye. Steve
Barb
Bancek,
Cook?
aye.
Aye.
She was aye.
Matt Kuzner,
Aye.
Brad Mullins,
Aye.
Carl Nielsen,
Aye.
Neil Summers,
Aye.
Jeff Zellers,
Aye.
Al Zagantz,
Aye.
8 ayes.
Resolution passed. Thank you. The state auditor's office agreed upon procedures.
Historically, every couple of years, every other year, we have a state audit, and historically they cost anywhere between $10,000 to $12,000. Because of the pandemic, call it good luck or bad luck. As far as the state auditors, they've been working with Yvonne on different procedures. Predominantly, this is all going to be done remotely. They've asked for certain documents already. Yvonne's been providing them. So what we have to do is agree upon the procedures. The good news is the audit will cost about $3,800 rather than the $12,000. So it's well within my thresholds, but I do need a motion to approve the agreed upon procedures. Yvonne and I have no objection. And quite honestly, you don't really have a choice. It's the state auditor's office, but it's something we have to do. We have to have a motion to accept.
So do we have any questions? Anybody have any comments? Things I'd like to ask Tom or Yvonne? So can I get a motion to approve the agreed upon procedures for the state auditor's office?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Zagats, and who is that that just said that?
Neil.
A second by Mr. Summers. All in favor?
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed? Okay, motion passed. Very good. We have resolution for the Oasis Marinas at Port Lorraine infrastructure.
I think we sent on the packet. I hope you saw the update from Oasis. Obviously, they've been very busy. Hopefully, you've seen some of the Facebook posts. They've had a great presence down there. There's been a lot of improvements going on. As we went through this transition, it's a transition, and we knew that there was going to be some hot button issues. And we, as the Port Authority, in our lease agreement are required certain infrastructure, and some of those items that we assumed were going to stay were either in disrepair or were taken out by the previous leaseholder. At the end of the day, we may be able to challenge or ongoing, but it is my personal opinion. I've worked with Oasis. We've come to some clear conclusions where instead of getting back some old items that were in disrepair and probably are going to be shot in a year or two anyway, that we're going to put in new stuff. And those items would include a pump out station. They would include the jet ski docks. It would include the intercom or security system for each dock and for the gates. So what we've come up with is we kind of partnered up, and I worked with the general manager, Nate Moyer, and with their lead office. And what we've come up with is if we would supply, reimburse them for the new security system and for 10 jet ski docks, and that's a total not to exceed $35,000. We're basically done. The transition's done. Oasis gets up and started. They're already spending in excess of their $70,000 that's required on their end of the lease for repairs. And they still have about $12,000 worth of electrical that really could come our way. So I think it was a really good partnership and negotiation between Oasis and our office. I would ask for the board to seriously consider supporting this resolution. We invest the money, we have new equipment, and we get this thing started right.
I'd like to just make a comment too, that I was involved with some of the negotiations and spoke with their counsel for Spitzer Marina. And, you know, it's one of those deals where it's a he said, she said, they have their version. And when I spoke to Tom, I just didn't think there was any clear-cut resolution without spending a lot of money legally going after them and wasting a lot of time and money and delaying the opening of the marina. And so if you've been down there and you've seen the pictures of the boaters lounge and things that they've done, you know, we want to keep that momentum going. So there's a lot of good things happening down there. I wanted to make sure we just, we supported them. So
I personally believe, and I can't stress this enough, that we would spend more in court at this point to get back 20-year-old jet ski docks that are in disrepair and a pump out and the comm system. We've got more, the technology is far superior. I just think that
did we get those additional docks?
The original, there's other floating docks that are over at the Spitzer property, Riverside, that we're going to be getting delivered as well. So I think it's a good resolution. Not perfect, but I think I'm going to be brutally honest, I thought it was going to be far worse than this. So if we spend $35,000 on good brand new equipment, I'm very pleased with that.
And we did get some of the docks back that they can utilize and put back into operation. So that was part of the negotiation. So any other questions, any other comments?
Yeah, I have a couple questions. So Tom, with the 35,000, was that just for the jet skis, or was that the jet ski docks and the intercom system?
That would be the intercom system or the key fob system that lets people in each dock gate. And they're going to be specific so that each dock gate, like D dock, will have a certain fob system, and then that'll get them in the clubhouse and those type of things. That's about $15,500 was the cost of that. There was 25 jet ski docks when we went out for proposals. They don't think they need that many, and they were in pretty poor shape. This would be buying 10 brand new jet ski docks, which is what Oasis actually came up with this proposal and said, look, if the Port Authority would do these 2 items, we'll do the rest. And they've already spent more than their 70 for year 1 that was in the lease. So I'm pretty pleased with it, quite honestly. And
Okay, but
they're adding
my question still is that the 35,000, that's for both items? That's the
Yes,
security?
correct.
Okay. And then
Yes.
what happens? I thought we were going to do the parking lot this spring.
No one's doing asphalt yet. I met with Nate again last week because they were talking about possibly changing some things in the parking lot. They're going to maintain what they are. So what I'm going to do is go out for proposals as the weather heats up for the north side of the parking lot and then the parking lot around the restaurant and the lounge. They would like the first part actually that goes out to the end of the pier done first. So I'm going to set it up as quote A and quote B, and then we can decide as a body if we want to try to go for both of them this year. Oasis would be very happy if we did the one this year, and they're okay if we did the second one next year. They're not as worried about the parking lot. I would preferably bite the bullet and just get them all done and hopefully get a better price because we're going to do so much, because I think it just makes a better statement if both of them are done at once.
But that's still out there coming to us.
Yes, that was something we put in the capital budget. This 35 was not budgeted in the capital specifically, but we had room in the capital budget for things in anticipation of projects coming forth or not knowing what the future was there. So I did have money in the capital budget for some things.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Any other comments? Yvonne, you want to read the resolution?
A resolution authorizing the executive director to fund improvements at Oasis Marina at Port Lorraine in accordance with the current lease.
So board members, we have a Oasis Marina at Port Lorraine Infrastructure Resolution number 2020-12. Can I get a motion to approve? Motion by Ms. Cook, second. Second by Mr.
Summers, yes.
Zagant. Second by Mr. Zagant. Can I get a roll call vote, please?
Steve Bancek,
Aye.
Barb Cook,
Aye.
Matt Kuzner,
Aye.
Brad Mullins,
Aye.
Carl Nielsen,
Aye.
Neil Summers,
Aye.
Jeff Zellers,
Aye.
Al Zagant,
Yes.
Very
8
good.
ayes.
Motion passed. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Tom,
Yes.
are the docks that we're gonna get back in usable condition, or are they in the same condition that the?
They're pretty whooped. Any dock that's over there is ones that broke apart in storms, but there's usable parts. And I think that if you noticed in the report from Oasis, the gangplanks will all be replaced in July. That stuff's all ordered. So they wanted to get it done sooner, but they're going with aluminum and they're doing pretty good over there. So I'm very pleased with the communications and everything.
I talked with Nate, Steve, to answer your question, and the value that those docks are for replacement parts. They're not going to be able to salvage them and reuse them again. So
I didn't figure as much, but
yeah, that's why they took them out.
Yeah, what they need to do is get their business model going. And ideally, they're still in the mindset that year 3 is when they're going to really start to think about replacing everything over there. So it's getting them from day 1 to year 3 right now.
Do we know how they're doing as far as dockage and people?
They're right around, I think 180 right now. So there's still got people trickling in, but I think the pandemic is hurting as well because people are selling their boats or saying they're not going to have a season. So they're, and then people are just coming in. He could be over 200 because people are just showing up saying, I need my dock.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Good.
but I think their social media presence has been really good. And I think that people are starting to take notice. So that's why I want to keep everything rolling.
And do we have any confirmation? I heard the Freedom Boat Club was going down there and opening.
They purchased a building over there on Colorado with the old Gerbic Motors, and they have some boats over there. I don't know that they're going to operate out of the marina this year, but it's ongoing negotiations. They're in town. It's just whether or not, again.
Yeah, I went over to introduce myself and talk to them.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, Freedom Boat Club, you can pay an annual fee and you can rent a boat. You can get a boat anytime you want. You pay a monthly fee and an annual fee. And they have plans to go down here and have these boats available. They keep anywhere from 25 to 50 boats on site. So they'll need dockage and, there'll be people going down there to rent. So it could be a nice shot in the arm getting voters to come down there. So that might be a nice option for us.
And I would say that, there's been a lot of plans over there at the marina and like with everybody, everything's kind of on pause right now because nobody knows what recreation there will be this summer, what's going to be allowed. So we're keeping a pulse on everything and nobody's outright pulled out of some of the proposals, but they're all on pause, obviously.
Okay, Aerial on Broadway put option.
As you go back 2 years, we had a lease that had to last at least 2 years. It's been past 2 years. So Radika has notified me that they will be exercising their put option, which in theory means they give us $1,000 and pay closing costs, and then they get the building. In the lease that we passed in December of 2017, that put option does not require any further legislative action on the Port Authority or the Board of Directors, but I felt that I wanted to tell you, I think that's good news. We're waiting on Monday. There's still one little piece of property that showed up on the auditor's website that the port owned, but in fact, it was never properly transferred in 2002 to the port. So the city still owned it. So on Monday, council will be doing a quick claim deed to transfer that very small sliver of property to the Port Authority. Once that is done, then the Radika is going to exercise her put option. So basically, we just wait for her title company to get everything ready. She goes and pays the $1,000 and we got rid of our building. So I think it's surreal in some respects, but it's progress, and fingers crossed that, we can get that place back open and get it marketed and all those things, because she was open less than a week and had to close. And the worst part is she missed the deadline by 2 days for the Payroll Protection Act. So she had to be in business February 15th. She was in business February 17th. So just some bad luck. Obviously, we're going to assist that project in any way we can. And, I'm still very happy with the project. It's kind of, like I said, surreal for me that we're about to transfer it over. So, but that was our goal, and here we are. So that was just a quick report. Are there any questions on that? Seeing no questions. Oh, Barb has a question.
Taxes on that property. This is half a year. Do we pay half a year? Tax?
No, the lease, Radika's responsible in the lease of all taxes.
Okay.
Okay. Just a quick note too. I did speak with Bob early today, and he just said to tell everybody that they're doing fine, that they're just kind of waiting, playing it day by day before they make any long-term announcements about the concert series. He did say that they're honorable people. They'll do the right thing. And if people did purchase season passes, that they'll either extend them to next year and give them full season passes for next year and a little perk. He said, or if they need their money back, they'll give them their money back. So he just said that they're still have every intention of trying to make this work, and they are, they're going to survive. So
They don't want to extend the season then.
they may extend the season. That's an option. They have rearranged some concerts. They may take the season to a couple of dates that will open in August, and as well as maybe into September. So those are options they're looking at, but they want to get something from the government that says you can officially have concerts. They can't exceed X, Y, Z. He said, so they may have to get different bands because they may have smaller groups, right? They may only have 1,000 or 2,000 people here. So they're working through it. He's on top of it, but he says he's committed. So
We have regular communications with Bob, obviously, as well with Erin with Summer Market. Erin's goal right now, she's doing the same as Bob. She's hoping by July 18th we can figure out. And I've expressed to her that we've got 25 acres out here. So they're an open air market, and farmers markets are open now. So in my opinion, we're going to make Summer Market work one way or the other. With Bob, there's a little different dynamic, but hopefully as some of these restrictions are eased, we can get creative as well. And, Bob keeps sliding it out. And if we got to go in October, Bob will go in October, but we'll figure something out. There's another very large act festival that we've done in the past, no names, but it rhymes with over. We were lining those guys up for this year, but that won't happen this year, obviously with everything happening. So we'll keep those line of communications open for the future as well.
Right.
I interrupted a minute. I wanted to ask you about those people out there on the stage. Are we covered for anything that happens to those people?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's not even bad. We've got some people climbing around the stage out there. So
Okay.
Okay. All right, Economic Development Director. Tiffany.
Thanks, Brad. I just have a couple of updates, so just wanted to give you guys an idea of where we're at after, gosh, it's been about 2 months now. So I'll start with the good news. Kelly's Island ferry boat project is moving. We have officially signed contract for the building of that vessel. It was a very, very exciting and thrilling day because you know, you look back at all these dates and realize how long you've been working on it. So we have signed contract. They are into the additional engineering work that they need to do right now. So they're starting on that project. So it's really exciting. We had a couple of, I'll say, hiccups along the way. By all means, I think if you remember the last board meeting, we said we had to make sure that, you know, we were covered on our end, making sure that when we were working with Kelly's Island and their bank, that all of the money, the local match money, was appropriately allocated into the escrow account and untouchable by anyone but us and accessible to us when we needed it. So we had to go through a couple of iterations with that before they realized exactly what we needed and were able to give us exactly that. So all of the money, the federal money, is completely encumbered with ODOT. Central office has actually kind of stepped back off this project now. They're very comfortable with where we're at. So we're working just with our local district office now, which is great. That individual is Steve, who's worked with us before. He actually worked with us on I believe, this very building project. So he's been involved and worked very closely with Yvonne. So he's our direct contact now. And with all of the money allocated there, they were very comfortable and happy with us getting this project going and getting the local match put in. But they actually proceeded with that ahead of time because they wanted to get this moving, and they were really happy with where we were at. So that was allocated. We got the escrow account completely set up, all the funding there, and are able to draw down on that as we need to get bills paid. That money is locked up, set aside until this project is complete. So we're in a really good place right now. So like I said, we're moving along. We're working with the shipyard right now. We do have TAI and their contract as well to work with us as the engineer on that. So we're in a good place. Beyond that, a little bit of not so exciting news. If you remember, in December, we applied for brownfield assessment grant funding. We have had 2 allocations of this funding, as well as worked with the county on an area-wide planning grant through the US EPA. So in December, we applied for the area-wide assessment funding, and we just got notice last week that we did not receive any funding. It's really disheartening, especially because no one in Northeast Ohio received any funding at all. We had a lot of agencies going for funding. They had about 455 applicants, and I think they funded 150, so extremely competitive. But we were hoping to get that $300,000 to continue our assessment program, and did not get allocated that. So, like I said, that's a little bit disheartening. And then, just in general on the business front, you know, with everything that's going on right now, as you can imagine, businesses are not very interested in a lot of investment. So we did have a lot of projects in the pipeline that we were really excited for. And though we've continued that communication line with those businesses, they've really said, look, we're just trying to keep our operation going, we're at a standstill. And that's completely understandable. So we're just here, we're trying to help. We've been trying to pass along any information that we possibly can, make sure that they are getting the programs that are available to them. And on top of that, we've been really trying to take advantage of any access to capital programs that are coming out. So we could very well have an opportunity in the next couple of months here with some allocations that have gone to EDA and other federal agencies to think about getting some revolving loan fund or a character-based lending program. And we're exploring a lot of options right now. So nothing is guaranteed, but I think we're very well positioned right now. I've actually had agencies reaching out to us saying, you're in the right position, let's get you this funding so you can help your community. So we're listening, we're hearing all of our communities, whether that's, you know, people on the river here that are still getting freighters in, or our small businesses on Broadway. We're listening, we're hearing what they're saying, we're hearing their needs. We're trying to react to that and make sure that we're getting the programs in to help them, because funding is tight, it's limited, and we're just doing the best we can. So we are on the forefront of all of this. we're listening and we'll continue to be here and keep you guys apprised of all of those developments. So that's my quick update.
So I want to talk a bit, we have somebody coming in Thursday from the luncheon that we had back in, what was that, last fall?
Mhm.
The friend of mine that are in the cold storage warehouse business, they found somebody, their families own Cancer Centers of America, and they want to get into the cold storage and dry storage business. And so they're talking to Tiffany and Tom this Thursday about, developing the industrial park, and not just a segment. They are interested in eventually the whole industrial park. And they have they have different locations throughout the country. So I'm excited. Thursday is going to be a pivotal day. I did receive some insight and some inside information that they think Lorraine is the site. They hired a company out of New York called Hickey and Associates that have site planning offices. And so they've invested a considerable amount of money to find a site, which to me says they're very interested. And he's actually talking to you on Thursday, and then if it goes well, flying his personal jet in next week to visit the site. And so Carl, I don't know if you're going to be available, but we might, or any board members that might be interested, but to go out and to look at the sites and just look at Lorraine. So could be a nice shot in the arm, especially for the industrial park.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have noticed that there are some, as terrible as this crisis is, it has brought some awareness to some supply chain issues, some opportunities, especially in this area. So we are aware of all that. We're staying very well connected with Jobs Ohio and Team Neo and listening to everything that they have to say. The data is coming out to show where these gaps are, which is really almost a cool opportunity for us. So this cold storage is exactly that. It's turned into a great opportunity because of this crisis. So yeah, we're ready for it. So we're really excited to see how it pans out.
Good. Be lovely to bring that home. You guys got the right people in charge. So great.
All right, thanks.
Any other comments for Tiffany?
I would just say that really quickly, I would just add to what Tiffany's saying. If you think about it, we've been at this Kelly's Island for 3.5+ years. Tiffany's worked very diligently. Now Yvonne stepping in, the whole staff just making sure we get to the finish line. This is like, she should be shooting confetti in the air. This is a huge thing. And a year from now, that ferry boat will be getting delivered up from Louisiana, up the Mississippi to Marblehead. So this is just a phenomenal thing, and great job.
Mark your calendar, June 5th, 2021, the vessel will be delivered. So
Oh, wow.
June
Fantastic.
5th, 2021, that's our date.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Congratulations. That's a great job, you guys. All right. Report of committees. Contract Management Committee.
Oh, was there a question? I butted over somebody there on the,
No, Tom, I'm fine.
okay, I'm
It's
sorry.
Neil. That's all right.
Any report on the Contract Management Committee?
No report.
Thank you. Strategic Development Plan Committee.
No report.
Marketing and Public Affairs Committee.
None.
Ground Maintenance and Capital Improvement Committee.
We
Mr.
have,
Nielsen?
yes, through the chairman and our executive director, we have a proposal for concrete to extend the pad in front of the stage.
Okay.
I'll let Tom.
We had talked about, we have an issue year after year, and we've been getting caught up in some of the maintenance items. And this is one of the projects we identified in the previous year, to extend the concrete in front of the stage another 20 feet, because no matter what we do, we have mud and we reseed it every year. It's never going to work. So we think if we extend the concrete out another 20 feet, it'll take care of one of our issues. It'll clean up the site. I did go out for proposals or quotes. I didn't get one till very late, so I did not put them in the packet, but I will tell you that I have 2 quotes. They're both very comparable. One is a Lorraine firm that is Falbo Construction Terminal Ready Mix at $10,750. I'd have to look up my email. And then the other firm I got to actually reply was Concrete and More, and I believe they were $10,900. So they're very same. My recommendation would be go to Falbo. They've done other work on the site. It's a Lorraine business. They're a good partner. That would be my recommendation. I attempted to get a third quote. Some people are working, some people aren't. People promised me quotes. I made these calls a month and a half, 2 months ago. So I know that the board likes to have 3 quotes. It's just above my threshold, but I would ask that you approve, if you want, set the dollar amount up to $11,000 and we get this job done.
So are we looking for a motion to approve?
Yes, a
So
motion.
you're recommending terminal ready mix Babel construction?
Yes.
So I have a motion to look at the stage concrete extension to be performed by Terminal Ready Mix Falvo Construction for $10,700 and some odd dollars.
I
Can
would
I
just
get
say
a motion
not.
to approve? Motion by Mr. Nielsen, second by Mr. Zagantz. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Thank you very much.
Other on that, the painting of the pavilions, without anybody down here, they've been able to get a lot of work done in between the weather. They're doing a nice job prepping everything. I go out and check on it periodically. They've been good to work with. So all of the tan steel will be redone. It's been prepped. It looks really good so far. So, whenever we get a season, it's going to look good out there. The last thing is Victory Park. I've sent out some updates, just waiting on the lawn to get dragged out and reseeded. All of the lights are in place. The flag poles are in place. The flags are installed. The trees have been trimmed. I got one more tree that I need another touch up on because the flag's a little close for my liking. But I think it's going to be good by Memorial Day, and hopefully the grass is green and we get rid of the dandelions, and there'll be a new flower bed around the monument as well. But I think it's a nice project, and we're pretty happy with the progress over there.
It's really good. Looks nice. Definitely improvement. Financial Planning and Audit Committee. March 2020 financial statement. Any questions? Comments? Can I get a motion to approve? By Mrs. Cook, second.
I'll
Can I get a
second that.
Second by Mr. Zellers, all in favor? All opposed? The 2020 March financial statements approved. April 2020 financial statement. Questions, comments, changes? Can I get a motion to approve?
I think probably she mentioned we have a lot of returns, because of the C-19. So there was limited transactions to view. That's expected. I'm pretty sure that Yvonne probably shared that with you. But everything else looks looks okay.
Okay. Thank you, Roberto. Can I get a motion to approve?
Can we vote on that hat first?
You see where I'm at?
It keeps
Motion-
changing
motion
shape.
to-
I don't know.
it's like
Where are you
you
at?
gotta-
Cabo San Lucas? Your head keeps disappearing. There you go. That's better. That's
much
better.
There you go.
Yeah, I've had over 100 Zoom meetings already.
Oh,
There you
yeah.
go.
All right,
Motion
so
to
going
approve.
back to my original comment, can I get a motion to approve?
Neil, yes, motion to approve.
Mr. Summers, can I get a second?
Second.
By Mr. Davila, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion to approve has been approved. Okay. 2020 Marine Patrol Grant.
Yes, we were awarded the maximum amount, which is 35,000. We haven't gotten that in the past, I think, 4 years, because hardly anybody ever did. But we did get the maximum amount of 30,000, or 35,000, excuse me. The only thing is in the contract this year, you're not going to get your funding from the state until after June 30th, which puts them in the next state year. So I will have an advancement of funds resolution after this one as well.
You want to go ahead and read the resolution?
A resolution authorizing the executive director or his designee to enter into an agreement with the Ohio Department of Natural Resources, Division of Parks and Watercraft for the 2020 Marine Patrol Program.
Board members, we have the 2020 Marine Patrol Grant Resolution number 2020-13. Can I get a motion to approve? By Mr. Nielsen, second by Mr. Zagantz. Can I get a roll call vote, please?
Steve Bancek,
Aye.
Barb Cook,
Aye.
Roberto Davila,
Aye.
Matt Kuzner,
Aye.
Brad Mullins,
Aye.
Carl Nielsen,
Aye.
Neil Summers,
Aye.
Jeff Zellers,
Aye.
Al Zagantz,
Aye.
9 ayes.
9 ayes. Great. The Marine Patrol grant resolution passed.
The next
Next
item
resolution.
is
Go ahead.
the advancement of funds for that. And we up to the amount of 11,666.67, which also coincidentally is the match amount. And I do have that ready for you.
So board, we have before you the advancement of funds for Marine Patrol grant resolution number 2020-14. Motion to approve.
Motion to approve, Neil.
Second.
Uh,
Davila.
Second, I'm sorry, who did it first? Neil?
Neil.
Neil Summer, and second by Mr. Davila. Can I get a roll call vote, please?
Should I read it first?
I thought you did.
For the advancement, I did not.
Okay, I thought you did. You talked about it, so I thought that's what it was about.
No, I'm just going to read it for the record, if that's okay.
Go ahead.
A resolution to approve an advancement of funds from the general fund to the special revenue Marine Patrol Fund.
Okay.
Deja vu.
I just don't want to get any.
You just said it. It's okay. So can we get a roll call vote, please? Because we did get a motion
Yeah.
to approve.
Steve
and
Bancek,
second.
Aye.
Barb Cook, Roberto Davila,
Aye.
Matt Kuzner,
Aye.
Brad Mullins,
Aye.
Carl Nielsen,
Aye.
Neil Summers,
Aye.
Jeff Zellers,
Not at all.
Aye.
Al Zagantz,
Yes.
9 ayes.
Great.
The
Next
next night,
one,
the
the budget
next night-
amendment.
yes.
Okay.
The budget amendment, and the only thing that was added was the funding for the Marine Patrol, for the adding that into our budget. Do you want to go through that, or are we good with that?
Anybody have any questions? Anybody want to talk about it? Need more information? Sounds like we're good. You want to go ahead and read the resolution?
A resolution ratifying expenditures and authorizing the executive director to revise the 2020 operating budget, transfer and appropriate funds, and request an amended certificate of estimated resources from the county auditor.
So we have budget amendment resolution number 2020-15. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
By Mr. Bancek, second.
Second, Mr. Davila.
Second by Mr. Davila. Roll call vote, please.
Steve Bancek,
Aye.
Barb Cook,
Aye.
Roberto Davila,
Aye.
Matt Kuzner,
Aye.
Brad Mullins,
Aye.
Carl Nielsen,
Aye.
Neil Summers,
Aye.
Jeff Zellers,
Aye.
Al Zagantz,
Aye.
9 ayes.
Resolution
And that's all I
passed.
have. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Cook, Bylaws and Personnel Committee.
Nothing to report.
Very good. Do we have any other business before the board tonight? There's nobody publicly here, it's just us, so I guess there's no public comment. Can I get a motion to adjourn? By Ms. Cook, second by Mr. Nielsen. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Good evening. Thank you for joining us, and stay safe.
It was nice seeing everybody or in person.
Yeah.
I look forward to when we have a full meeting. I'll feed you well. I
There you
promise.
go.
Good job,
Thanks,
staff.
everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Very good job.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Take care, everybody. Thank you,
Thank
Jeff.
you. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye
Bye.
now.